Good evening, noswaith. It's a real privilege to be here today. Now, as I said, my talk is there's no such thing as Superwoman, and the next slide is going to be, but I'm giving it a good go anyway. Obviously didn't time this very well. Yeah, I'm going to give it a good go anyway. As Steve said, I'm a lawyer by day. That's what I do for a living, but I also write. And I write novels about lawyers in law firms having love affairs. I wrote something more exciting than that, but so that's my profile. Toronto born, on the chat. Is this working? Okay, being a lawyer is nothing like this, okay? I wish it was like Good Wife, but if you really did a program about lawyers, they would be sitting at their desks, writing emails and on the phone, really dull. It's a good job in the sense that you meet really interesting people, learn something new every day, but what I like to do at night is to write books. I don't have a writing shed like Dylan Thomas. I wish I did. Wouldn't it be lovely to be writing in there? I also wish I wrote like Dylan Thomas, but what I write, as I said, is stories, love affairs in law firms, bit of Welsh history, bit of background about stuff that's happening in Wales. I run a women's networking group called Superwoman, which raises money for charities at networking events. We've been running since about 2005. We've had some amazing speakers. It's a bit like this sort of thing. You know, people come and talk, not quite so quick, short of time. And I also have a family. So I've got a husband, 2 children, 17 and 12-year-old. So it's a busy life. I've got a lot going on. I've got to write that column for the Western Mail every other week. And I also do a paper review for Good Morning Wales, Sunday Supplement, Politics, Jamie Owen, funny stuff. So, a lot to get going. I can totally recommend this video if you've never seen it before. YouTube, Z Frank, jelly beans. He measures out an average lifetime in beans, and he works out how much time you spend cooking, how much time you spend eating, how much time you spend sleeping, and how many jelly beans you've got left to do something that matters to you. We'd all like to do something that is what you love, what you're good at, and what pays well, that sweet spot in the middle, the win. Most of us, unfortunately, end up with a happy but poor, rich but bored. But wouldn't it be lovely if we got to do something we really love? I'm lucky I work for myself, which means I got a lot of flexibility. I got time. If I want to work, I can work. If I want to spend some time writing, I can do that. A big part of that is that my husband is my partner. He doesn't think that looking after our children is babysitting. In order to be able to do that, I cut corners. I don't run marathons or climb Kilimanjaro. Hats off to you if you do, but there's no time for that. And I also I love meeting new people. I'm nosy and I'm chopsy. I'm from the Rhondda, but I don't have time. I cut corners. These are the curtains in my bedroom. My mum-in-law gave them to us 10 years ago. She said they come out of the attic straight from the 70s. They'll do till you find something better. They're still up. They'll do just fine. They've got lilies on them, and they keep out the light. I genuinely believe that beans on toast at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, is a nutritious meal. That really does work. And more importantly, it's one of your 5 a day, as Heinz said. So, that's okay. You can cut the corners by doing that too. I don't go as far as this, which is an out of office from a friend of mine in Hong Kong who tells her clients, if your need for me is greater than my children's need for mummy time, then you can phone me, but only then. So I don't go quite as far as that, because that is taking a bit far. But I don't let my children guilt me out, okay? This is the kind of message they send me if I have to go on business away. Don't let that happen, I'm not prepared to do that. I am lucky that they're fairly healthy and robust. They do look after themselves. So, I think life would be different if your children needed a lot of support, but mine are fairly okay. If you want to be a superwoman or a superman and you want to squeeze loads into your life, don't wait for the right moment, just start. If you want to write a book, just sit down and write it. There'll never be a right time. If you want to leave your job and have a better job or work for yourself, do it now, otherwise it'll go. You've got to have a plan, better one than I've had for this talk. You've got to start a pension, yes, really, because actually you actually want to stop working at some time. Social media is fantastic, but it's a massive, massive drain on your time. Sometimes step away from the computer and do some deep thought. Even if you've got a plan, sometimes it's got to change. This guy's got nothing to do with me, but he's got the same name as me, so I thought I'd go with him. You've got to be responsive. You've got to be responsive to change. You might have a plan, but suddenly it shifts and you've got to have a new plan. So those are the people who survive. You've got to be brave. Totally brave. I love this lazy. I wish I had this outfit on. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. You get the life you deserve at the end of the day, and you've got to be brave. And I can draw breath. I want to be an old lady who's destined to be an old woman with no regrets. I'm trying really hard. I'm well on the way to be an old woman. I'm 51. But that's how I want to live my life. And more importantly, I want to be able to make memories like this, of being stuff like this, getting out here and doing that. With my family, ideally. But I thoroughly recommend putting your cape on and trying to be as superwoman or man as you possibly can be in 5-minute slots. Thank you very much.